What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video, and we are so close now to the regular season content. We're talking game week previews, team selections, streams, and then more streams, and even more streams as well. It's all coming this week, so make sure if you haven't already subscribed, there's a reason you should do that as well, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But in this one, we're going to go through some of the new signings that have come into the league quite recently, but also some at the start of the window as well, and talk about whether they're a good idea for FPL. Should we be looking at them? Are they a good price? When should we be looking at buying them? That kind of thing. Just before I jump into that though, here's some incentives for you to subscribe to the channel and also join my league. So if you click the link in the description below, there's an auto join for the public Let's Talk FPL League. It doesn't cost anything to enter. The league code is on screen right now. I've basically decided to add £100 for the league winner. Whoever wins this year will get £100. If we get 100,000 subscribers by the 1st of October, so the end of this month, I'll make it up to 250. If we can get 100,000 subscribers by the game week 1 deadline, which is a tough ask, but it is doable, I'll put it up to £500. Both things are free to do. It's free to enter, it's free to subscribe. Make sure you do it, be in with a chance of winning. You'll really help me out as well. Really appreciate it. Otherwise, let's jump into the first signing. So first up is Ben Chilwell. Now, first thing to say is he is injured and we don't quite yet know when he's going to be back. But when he is, I think he's a very exciting signing. I'd say one of the best signings in terms of FPL point of view for this window, because for Chelsea, right, their left back has been decent for a while now. Alonso, when he plays, he's a really good FPL option, but we know that Chelsea fans don't rate him. We know there's a reason they bought Chilwell, because they don't want to play Alonso week in, week out. So the good thing about him is he's going to go in, he's going to be pretty much nailed. Will he play 38 games? We don't know yet. Obviously, we'll have to wait to see injuries. Maybe he'll get rested at some point, but he is going to play a big majority of games when he's fully fit. 5.5 million, also a very good price. I know a lot of people have said recently, why are you talking about Chelsea as a defensive unit? They were rubbish last year, and they were in terms of the amount of goals they conceded, but their underlying numbers were good in terms of expected goals conceded and things like that. I've talked about that before. The big issue for me is Kepa. If he's still there at the start of the season, I'd probably want to see how well he and kind of the team as a whole has improved. Obviously, Thiago Silva's coming as well. At the same price, by the way, 5.5 million. So I've got no interest in Thiago Silva at all. His attacking potential is very low. Chilwell, a bit better. 6th for chances created last year. His expected goals and assists kind of combined, the expected goal involvement was a little bit lower than that in terms of kind of per 90 minutes. But overall, 6th for chances created is pretty decent. And he's now going into a better team. Not only a better team from last year, but also a much improved team now with all the other signings they've made as well. So I really like Ben Chilwell. Really good opening fixtures, but I don't think he's going to be ready for game week 1. But as soon as he is, as long as they've still got a good fixture run, he's someone I really want to target. I think he's a good defence, especially if Kepa goes. Let's see if they sign someone new. A really good attack as well, so there's potential for good defensive returns, good attacking returns, and obviously he's cheaper than the Liverpool boys as well. I'm not saying he's going to score as many points, but I think he could definitely provide good value for 5.5 million. So a good rating for him, really good signing for Chelsea, and an excellent one for FPL as well, I think. So I'm reacting to this one so quickly that Callum Wilson doesn't even have a price in FPL. Now last year he was quite expensive. I think he was 8 million to start with. So the chances of him coming down to 6 million like Joelinton, very, very unlikely, right? It's not going to happen, in fact. I'll just say that now. I just don't see it at all. Some people are hoping for 6.5. I do think there's a chance he comes in at 7 million. Reducing him from 8 to 6.5, going from Bournemouth to Newcastle. Fair enough, it could happen. If he's 6.5, I'm very interested. If he's 7 million, though, I think it's a tough ask up against someone like Calvert-Lewin. But the fixtures are good. I think a lot of people are saying that West Ham, playing Newcastle is a great fixture. I actually think it's a pretty good fixture for Newcastle getting to play West Ham as well, by the way, on the opening day. Brighton at home, Burnley at home in the first 4 fixtures. And he is a proven goal scorer. Look, he's not on an elite level like a Vardy or a Salah, whoever it might be. He's a very good goal scorer when he's fully fit. And he showed last year he can stay fit. He didn't miss too many games. Didn't have the greatest record, 35 games in total, 8 goals, 3 assists, wasn't great. But he is what Newcastle have been crying out for. Someone that can actually score goals. And we've seen him do it numerous times for Bournemouth as well. So I'm quite excited about this as a sign-in. Would I go for him straight away? Like I said, if he was 6.5, I would strongly consider it. Because much better fixtures than the likes of Antonio. I'm not saying, on a level playing field with the same fixtures, he's as good an option. But you have to take fixtures into account as well. The other thing I really like about him too, there's talk of Jamal Lewis coming in for Newcastle. There's talk of Ryan Fraser coming in from Bournemouth as well. Obviously, he's left Bournemouth now, but played for them last year too. So same as Wilson. And those two combined were really good at one point, by the way. But there's a lot of exciting signings coming in for Newcastle, which might make them more of an attacking threat potentially. Obviously, Callum Wilson helps with that. But the other thing to consider is how well it helps the other team, the other members of the team. So St Maximin is a £5.5 million midfielder. A lot of people are on him already. I think he's okay. I don't think he's a standout option. I don't think many of them are. But suddenly with a goal scorer in, maybe Fraser as well, that might even make St Maximin a better option at 5.5. So that's who I've got my eye on. I don't know if I'd fit Wilson in straight away. If he was 6 million, absolutely, that's never going to happen. But definitely someone I'd consider down the line. I don't like all this he's a troll business. At the end of the day, sometimes he doesn't score, sometimes he does. That's FPL. But ultimately, I think he's a good player. And yeah, like I said, not too many injuries last year, going into a Newcastle team that heavily need him. And I also think, like I said, he could make players like St Maximin better as well. So I like this as a signing. So let's talk about another Chelsea signing. This is the last Chelsea player on the list. I know Werner's an option as well. Like, you know how much I love him. So I'm not going to talk about him in this video. And obviously I've kind of touched on Thiago Silva, etc. There's a lot of signings for Chelsea. This video would be really long if we went through them all. Havertz has just recently signed, one of the more recent players, 8.5 million. Now, I don't know whether he is kind of like a must-have. He's obviously a great signing for Chelsea, right? Nothing to kind of go against that. But from an FPL point of view, he's enticing at 8.5 million, but I don't think he's not someone I'm going to put straight in my team, I don't think. Like, looking over the last couple of seasons, expected goal involvement's 0.56 for the last two. So it's pretty good. It's not amazing. I mean, it's decent, and he's coming from the Bundesliga, which is good as well. But he's not, like I say, someone that I would absolutely, kind of break the bank or break my team apart to put him in. The other thing as well, 8.5 million, he's got to go up against Pulisic, who I think is probably the better option. And the other thing that kind of puts me off a little bit, right? I'm pretty big on Chelsea. I think they're going to do really well this year, but I'm not, I do realise they've got a lot of new signings. We're going to have to wait and see how they gel, where they're all going to play. Who else? Like, it's not like Giroud and Abraham and Mount are just going to get dropped forever. I just don't see that happening. So it's fitting all these players in and keeping them happy is going to be a pretty big task for Lampard as well. So looking at Havertz last year, kind of played off the right, but also more in like a kind of number 10 role. We've seen him playing like a false 9 potentially as well, is something he could do. If that happens, where does Werner play? Does he play off the left? When Pulisic is back fit, what happens to Werner playing off the left? Does he then go through the middle? You've got Ziyech to contend with as well. So there's a lot of kind of, what ifs with Chelsea. What if this happens? What if this player plays? What if those players that everyone has just written off now also get game time too? So overall, I think that would be enough to put me off. What I'd probably rather do is wait and see what happens with Chelsea, how they play. Because Lampard last year, to be fair, once he was happy with a player, he kept them in. He didn't do much rotation. So there's a lot of talk about him being the new Pep Guardiola, but we don't actually know that yet. So let's see how they start, and let's see how quickly Pulisic can get back. Because at the same price, I do think I prefer him. I've got Werner in my team. I'd happily get Chilwell, maybe Ziyech at some point as well. So there's lots of potential at Chelsea. I think there's a lot of underpriced players, or not necessarily underpriced, but players that are going to represent value before they go up in price next year. The fixtures are great though, so if you are fancying a punt, and let's be honest, he's a great player, as long as Lampard says he's fit and ready to start game week 1, the fixtures are there for a pretty good set of potential returns for the opening 4 game weeks. Not one for me, a great signing, potentially really good for FPL as well, but because Chelsea got so many other options, that might put people off a little bit. Next up, Van der Beek, Donny Van der Beek. What a name, by the way. Coming at Man United, 7 million. So looks to potentially be a great option at some point. But the thing with him is, there's a blank straight away, which we all know about. We've talked it to death now. And also, there's just no guarantee about where in that team he is going to play. Are we going to stick to kind of 4-2-3-1? In which case, Bruno Fernandes and Pogba are obviously dead certs to play. So will he come in instead of Matic? That probably leaves us a little bit weaker defensively. Maybe we'll be able to cope because we'll be so attacking. Will Bruno Fernandes come back a bit? Will Donny van der Beek go a little bit further forward? We just don't know yet. Now, having a look at kind of expected stats, I wasn't able to find them in the same place that I found them for Havertz. But his goal and assists for the last couple of years have been pretty good. So 0.61 goals or assists per 90 minutes for last year and 0.7 the year before that. He's played in like central midfield. He's played in more of like an attacking role, like attacking midfield, number 10 kind of position as well. But obviously we have that cover already in Bruno Fernandes and he is going nowhere. So some people think he might come in as a squad player. Some people think we might even change the formation completely. So stop playing with wingers and go with Rashford and Martial up front and a diamond. I don't see that. I just don't see that happening. Like at the end of last year, we saw how we played 4-2-3-1. Solskjaer is going to love that and continue with that, I think. So it's just a case of You could go more to a 4-3-3, of course. Whatever it might be, I think that's going to be his position, right? He's going to play central, similar to kind of Pogba and Fernandes. It's just a case of exactly how does that happen. Will he get embedded into the team slowly? Will it still be like Matic, Pogba and Fernandes to start, and then he slowly comes into the team? Like I said, there is a chance, and I've mentioned this before in other videos, Bruno Fernandes, when he first came in, because Pogba and that wasn't in the team, he played a bit deeper, so he could do that again. And if Van der Beek is the main man going forward, and not the main man, but you know what I mean, if he's the most centrally advanced player from midfield, then suddenly 7 million feels like a bargain, even cheaper than Greenwood. So it's hard to say what to do with him right now. For me, it's probably a punt too far to go for him from the off, because I don't think anyone could sit here and guarantee that he's going to play in game week 2. If he does, by the way, if Solskjaer can't make some kind of comment about the way they're going to play or anything like that, then Crystal Palace at home is a great fixture. For 7 million, he could really make... You know, I mean, it could just be a massive bargain getting in for that cheap, getting into that Man United attack. But for me, it's someone to give a miss to. Let's see how he does. Let's see where he plays. Like having 0.7, goals or assists per 90 minutes is decent. But now he's coming into the Premier League. That's, of course, going to go down. So you're not expecting him to do that again. But yeah, he's much cheaper than the other midfielders, so definitely one to watch. But from an FPL point of view, I'd give him a fairly low rating from the off. Let's see how he performs first and where he performs as well. So that's it for this one. Just a nice quick video on some of the new signings. Pretty excited to see what Callum Wilson comes priced at. Donny van der Beek maybe at some point. Chilwell, really like the look of. And Havertz, it's a wait and see. Not because I don't think he's a great player and because I don't think Chelsea will do well. It's just that Chelsea have so many options. I don't know if I want to lock myself in early. And ultimately, I want to see where he plays and where everyone else plays. So let me know in the comments below what you think about these players. Also, let me know if there's any other players you want me to give a comment on. I'm not going to do another video like this, but obviously I'm happy to get back in the comments section on the YouTube videos and let you know what I think. And obviously, there'll be game week previews and stuff to talk about some of your questions as well later on in the week. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. If you are new around here, if you haven't already hit that button, just go and check. Go and check right now. You think, I've watched like the last 10 of your videos. I haven't even checked if I'm subscribed. A lot of people just don't hit that button. It would really help me out, so I really would appreciate it. And like I said, you enter the league for free, you subscribe for free, potentially you win some money. What more could you want? Otherwise, I will leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Good luck with all the tinkering. Not long left now. Not long to get it right.